Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Okay, so today I'm gonna just kind of summarize what the second article that the Daily Mail put out, okay? Because, you know, they put out the first article and now another article came out. And I'm sure you guys have all read it by now. I know there's other channels that already read it and talked about it on their channel. So I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to kind of pick out some points I find interesting and just comment on them as I go and see what you guys think. So, the one part he's talking about NK a lot in this article, okay? So he's talking about NK here. He says he was mesmerized by her. She showed him respect that he didn't feel like he'd ever been shown before. Watts also still claims to love Nikki. And that's another thing. He still loves her. Like, man, so it's been over a year and he still loves her. So I wonder if he's just like obsessing over her and thinking about her every day. And you know, that kind of tells me that if he's still in love with her right now, that he probably doesn't feel bad for what he did, because he did it all for her. He even says, you know, he did it. If it wasn't for her, he wouldn't have done that. And if he's claiming that he still loves her, then I have a hard time believing that he actually is feeling bad and regretting this. I feel like the only thing he's feeling bad and regretting is that he can't be with Nikki right now. I mean, if you ask me, that's what it sounds like to me. You know, if he could be out, you know, free and still have done the same thing, but be out and free and be with Nikki, he would choose that than be out and free without Nikki and not have done this. You know what I'm saying? If he had a choice, the only thing, you know, if he had a choice to be with Nikki or to get his kids back, I think he would pick Nikki. I think the only reason he feels bad is because now he can't be with her. Gosh, you know, once again, it's like, could I hate him anymore? And now after this second article, I feel like I hate him even more, because he's claiming, you know, he's still in love with Nikki and how he never apologized. He never said he was sorry. We'll get to that here in a minute. Okay. So he says he was enamored with Nikki. He even tried to cause Shanann to miscarry, giving her oxycodone after Nikki told Watts she wanted to give him his first son. So, you know, he's like, oh, you want to give me my first son? Let me just go ahead and call my beautiful wife to miscarry our first son. Oh. Chris said he loved her like he has never loved anyone else before. And I'm sorry, the feelings he was having for her, I don't believe were probably love as a healthy person in love would feel. It was probably like this, well, obviously this obsession, like this unhealthy obsession with her. Okay, so he says he still loves Shanann, although he knows she was not his soulmate. Okay, so you're not my soulmate, so let's get rid of you. Oh my God. And not the person he was supposed to be with. Man. Watts wonders where Nikki is and told Cato that he has received some letters and postcards signed with different names and wonders if they might be from Nikki. Wow. And my opinion is I don't think she's actually writing to him in there. Like, I feel like, I mean, I know I could never know this for sure, but I feel like that she doesn't want anything to do with him. I feel like that she's probably is not feeling the same way like he's feeling about her. How he's still in love with her and he probably thinks about her every day, I'm sure, if he's still in love with her. But I have a feeling that Nikki doesn't even probably think about him at all, like as far as like those kind of feelings. I don't know, that's just how I'm feeling. I feel like that she's just disgusted by him, and I know I might, you know, take some heat for saying that. I'm not saying that I like her and I think she's a good person, but what I'm saying is I just don't think that she's still in love with Chris, like currently. I don't think, and I don't think she's the one writing him these postcards. Wishful thinking. He's probably just like fantasizing that these are from her and that she still loves them, you know. So that just tells me if he's sitting there, you know, reading these postcards, you know, fantasizing and pretending they're her, hoping they're her, how can he sit there and think of his daughters and Shanann in that same mind, in those same thoughts, in the same brain that he has, and act like he feels remorse or that he feel sorry for what he did? I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. After the murders, Watts told Cato, "All I could feel now is that I was free to be with Nikki. Feelings of my love for her was overcoming me. I felt no remorse." Felt no remorse. And see, think about it. He's saying he still loves her, and because his feelings, now back then when he did it, he's saying he still currently loves her, but now he's saying back then, that his feelings of his love were so overcoming him that he didn't even feel remorse for doing what he did to his family. He didn't even feel that, because all he wanted to do was be with Nikki, and that's the only thing that mattered. And it was just like overcame him. The obsession just like overpowered everything. And so, and if he's saying he still does love her, and he loved her back then and felt no remorse, don't you think if he still loves her now, he's probably still not feeling remorse? You know what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying here? Because he's probably, sounds like he's still overpowered with this love for her. So I don't think he feels no remorse now either. I really don't. Can you believe that? He gets rid of him, and all I feel now is that I was free to be with Nikki. What? Wow. Okay, so the darkness inside of me had won. It was still in me, though. I thought maybe permanently. I felt evil, swallowed up by this thing inside of me. I felt like I could kill anything and be justified for doing it. What? Wow. So when I'm confused, when he's saying the darkness inside of me had won, it was still in me, is he talking about currently? It's still in him? Or is he just talking about afterwards, after he killed them, like for that period after it was still in him and now it's not anymore? I don't know. But then, he says, I thought maybe permanently I felt evil. So when did this evil start inside of him? Just when he met Nikki, it started like or did he always have this evil side? You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily like that he was thinking about killing people all the time, or that, he was thinking about necessarily hurting people, but was he always that evil where he could care less about people? Like, he could care less about their feelings, he could care less about, how other people feel. It was only about how he felt, and like his morally, it seems like he's way off. So it just makes me wonder. Yeah, he's saying that he never would have killed his family if it wasn't for Nikki, but I feel like evil doesn't just, I feel like you're not going to be like a good person with a good heart one day and then the next day you're just evil. Like, I feel like that's not really how it works. So I feel like he was always a bad person, unless if it was just, she brought this evilness into him so strongly, but I feel like that he still had, his heart still couldn't have been good, like going into it. Even before he met Nikki, I feel like he had to have a bad heart. Like, he had to be not so much of a good person. He had to be just not, a bad person. And then, maybe it never got to that level where he, killed anybody or thought about it, but because of, his love for her, he did that. But the fact that he was able to do something like that and feel no remorse, it makes me think that he, even before Nikki, was not good. I do really feel that way. And I always, kind of was thinking that, but it wasn't like so sure. You always have a little bit of doubt, like, well, when did this start, or what, was he ever a good person, and I feel like the more I learned, the more, I would see the fakeness in him when you watch the videos with his kids, how it was like all just like more like robotic, and there was like no emotion. He just did what he was supposed to do. There was no feeling, there was no like real connection and bonding with his kids. So the farther I got into studying him and studying the case, you see it more and more. But this just like solidifies my belief on his evilness and how he is just not a good person. He does not have a good heart. He's not, I feel like he doesn't have any empathy. He doesn't care about anybody but himself. After Chris killed his family and drove away, Nikki texted him to look up the song by Metallica called Battery. I challenge you to look up the full lyrics of this song. So now this isn't very clear either. Okay, so is he saying that after he killed his family, that's actually when Nikki texted him, like, look up this song, this, song by Metallica, Battery. I challenge you to look up the full lyrics. That's when she texted him, or is he saying she had texted him previously and he just chose to look it up when after he killed his family? You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think? Because if that's the case, that it was after he killed his family, I want to see those messages, because what led up to that? Like, did he text her first after that saying something? Or she just, out of the blue, it just happened to be after he killed his family that day, she texted him that? Or was there like some messages leading up to that? Where is that conversation? So if they were texting like right after he did that, I would love to see that conversation. I mean, wouldn't you guys? Well, I mean, what was he saying to her? What were they saying to each other? And why did she want him to look up those lyrics so bad? Because we all know what those lyrics are. So it's like she's like, well, we all call this anyway, but I challenge you to look up the full lyrics. So I feel like it just like planted that in his head, like these thoughts. So yeah, maybe she didn't literally go say, kill your family, get rid of your family. Or maybe she didn't even have anything to do with it, but the fact that she's telling him to look up these lyrics that are talking about killing your family and saying, I challenge you to look up the full lyrics. It's almost like she's planting this in his head, so when he looks it up, he's like, kill your family. Maybe it kind of like, that wasn't really an option he was thinking of in the moment. Well, we know this was after is when he looked it up, but let's say she didn't know he was going to do it, and she, let's say she didn't know he was going to do it, she didn't know he did it, and she, whether she told him the week before or that day she told him to do it, let's say she told him to do it not knowing what had happened, it still seems like she was trying to plant these thoughts into his head, regardless, Okay, so because why would she want him to look up something like that? Now, if we could go think that let's say she did know that he did it, and then she told him, oh, look these up. Can you, think about how that conversation could have happened. Maybe he calls her saying, oh my God, I can't believe I did this, I made a mistake or whatever. And then she said, look up those lyrics, because it was like, almost like, it almost was giving some kind of reassurance, like, his favorite band is saying, kill your family, so, maybe it was used to be like, yeah, okay, yep, this was the right thing, and then, to kind of add to whatever he was feeling, like, was he, the adrenaline or whatever he was feeling after doing that. But for some reason I'm thinking, like he said in the second interview, and I know he's a freaking liar, but for some reason I don't know if I think that she actually texted him that day like, I feel like maybe she texted him, the week prior or before, and then he just happened to remember that, and then he, happened to look it up that day. And maybe she even mentioned like, when she asked him, let's say she asked him a week prior, hey, look up this song, it talks about killing your family, and, maybe she didn't elaborate, so that after he did it, he, as they think, oh, shoot, let me look up this song, because look what I just did. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that, because do you think she texted him that day that? Nikki texted, it does, it says, the way it's worded, it says, after Chris killed his family and drove away, Nikki texted him to look up the song by Metallica. And then remember when Chris said that he didn't delete any of his texts? Which we all know he did, but like, case in point, like, where is this text in there? Okay, so let's continue here. So Cato spent 15 hours meeting face-to-face with Watts in prison, had 3 calls a week, and exchanged dozens of letters. Cato said that Watts was unable to make eye contact as they spoke. I finally said, "Why can't you look at me when you talk to me?" And he replied, "I've always been that way. It's not because of you." So he's basically, I've never been able to, make eye contact with people. And I believe that. I buy that. It seems like, his type. And then when he did, remember on some of those police body cams, when he did make eye contact with the cops, because I'm sure he felt like, oh gosh, I have to do that or it's going to look bad, it was so, like, it was just such a, it just didn't feel natural. It was so odd. It was, like, uneasy. Like, it was just, like, he didn't know how to make eye contact without it being weird, Watts gained certain privileges. He can go to a day room for a few hours, maybe watch TV. He picked up playing chess. His parents have bought him a small prison regulation TV, and a friend has sent a radio. He doesn't get many stations, but he gets a religious station that he likes to listen to. So I wonder how many stations, for his TV, wonder what stations he gets. Do you think they get like any news stations, or probably not news? Because I don't know. I'm not sure. Does anybody know, like, as far as like the TV, what stations he would get? And I remember in Colorado, actually, at our first apartment, what was his name, Ricky or whatever, he had a small TV. I think one time was our TV broke or something. We borrowed his TV, and he ended up giving us this. He said it was his TV he had in prison or jail or whatever, and it was like just like a small little TV, and you could see inside of it. So I guess I don't know if all prison TVs are like that, or that's how they were. I'm not sure if they are still. Let me know if any of you guys have experience, but it's like it was clear. Like this TV, you could see all the parts inside of it. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. Okay, so, like, because I've never actually seen a TV like that. It's like, yeah, that's a prison TV. They make you have those kinds of, you can't hide anything inside of them, I guess. Okay, so he is unusually calm, and we all know about his calmness. Freaking calm after he murdered his whole freaking family, and not even. Well, I guess he had those moments of, when he was watching that. Nate's TV, the neighbor's camera or whatever, but besides that, he was unusually calm for freaking what he did. Okay, so Cato was unable to reach Kessinger, who is reportedly living under protective custody in a different state. And even on the first article, they said that she was in the witness protection program in a different state. So I don't know. Remember how we discussed this and everybody said there's no way? I always thought that, there was a good possibility that she is in the witness protection program, because first of all, why hasn't anybody been able to find her? Somebody would have been able to find her. You have thousands of people that nobody could find anything about her or find any information on her, okay? Another thing is her life is in danger, I feel like. A lot of people hate her. A lot of people would probably want to hurt her, okay? So I feel like that's what the witness protection program is for. Like, situations like that where your life is in danger, I don't know. I really think she is, because, nobody could find her. Her life is in danger, I feel like. And, we know she was asking the cops about it. So I think it's a good possibility that she is. And then Cato writes, the only part that Cato believes that Nikki played in this is wanting him to leave Shanann and the girls. So, and remember how she said she told Chris, go get back with Shanann, try to work it out. That's not true. We all knew that. Okay, so Cato observed a level of detachment over what he has done. He doesn't talk a lot about the girls. He talks more about Shanann. Sometimes he talks about them in the present tense, saying he loves them rather than he loved them. Cato asked Chris to write her a letter about their life together, about him and Shanann's life together. Well, him and Shanann and, his Bella and Celeste's life together. And in one letter, Watts writes to Shanann and his daughters directly. Cato recalled that she had to point out to him that he never once apologized for taking their lives. Selfish, like we use the term narcissist or whatever you want to use, but bottom line is this guy is freaking evil and selfish, and it just, and that he doesn't feel bad for what he did. I really don't think he feels bad for what he did. I really don't. The letter is more about what it was doing to him that they were gone. It was almost like they had died in an accident instead of the fact that he murdered them. Later on the phone, I asked why he did not say he was sorry, and Chris said, "Oh, I didn't say I was sorry?" And Cato responded, "You've never said you're sorry in any of these letters. I think the public is going to notice that." And I asked him, "Are you sorry that you killed them?" And he said, "Well, I'm sorry. I can put it in a letter and you can insert it into the other letters." He didn't realize. Wow. That is just, well, I'm sorry. Oh, that's really convincing. The fact that you didn't think of it yourself and that you just talk about how it's affecting you rather than what it did not only to Nico, Bella, Celeste, and Shanann, but what it's done to the Ruseks, the whole family, both families, you know, friends. Like, I just feel like this is just proving that he is a bigger monster than we all saw. And not only the acts that he said he did, that he, you know, wow, that he had just confessed to, but the fact that, you know, how he's feeling now. I mean, like I said, that never saying he was sorry, still being in love with Nikki, saying, "Oh, well, I didn't, you can insert it in the letters," like, whatever, man. I have no use for him. Okay, Chris told her that he's an introvert, and it's hard for him to say things out loud, but he could write them in letters to me. Watts revealed that the murders were not committed in an outburst of rage, but he had been plotting them for weeks, which we knew that. The Watts family helped her in the beginning by sharing stories and photos, but she began to question their motives. It turned into more of a Shanann bashing because Cindy does not believe that Chris killed his daughters, Cato said. She believes that Cece and Bella were killed by Shanann. Their entire motive has been to clear their son's name. They were trying to push the narrative of the book. When I wouldn't write what they wanted me to write, his mother became very angry with me. Oh my God, this, I don't even know. So what? So I have a question. So when did she start this book with Kathleen? So this was after, you know, she was trying to push her narrative and Shanann bash in this book, and then when Cato said nope, 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 didn't go along with it, then is that when like her and Kathleen decided to write this book, or were they already in the process of writing it when this was going on? Probably the first thing I said, that she probably was trying with it, you know, with Cato, and then when realized she couldn't push her narrative with Cato, then she probably somehow got Kathleen to help her write it. I don't know. I just have no use. I have no use. Another thing is, I guess Cindy also felt like he loved his father more than he loved her, and that bothered her. Oh my gosh. And I guess included in the book is a letter that Watts wrote to the Ruseks asking for their forgiveness. I guess they don't have any idea about the letter, Cato said. Oh, so I guess Chris has not read an advance copy, but she intends to send him a book once it's published. Cato said he was still very much in support of the book when he called from prison on Sunday evening. I guess he knows that there's some things in the book that he's not going to agree with. And I guess he said he has told his family that he wishes they would back out of the criticism and social media hate that has gone on and realize that he is very much for the book. And then he says, I believe a part of that is because he wants his family to understand. I think he's tired of pretending. He just wants the story out for everyone to know, and maybe it will calm down. See, I don't believe that. I don't believe he wants it to calm down. I believe he likes this attention and this power that he has. He likes this. I don't buy that. I don't believe that he wants people to stop talking about it and he wants it to calm down. No, 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 no. I don't. I believe that he likes that. He likes the attention. You know, he likes that power he has. And another thing, I don't from the first article that they put out, do you remember it says the report, they're talking about Bella and Celeste here. It says the report also noted that Bella and Celeste had crude oil in their throats, stomach, and lungs after spending days in the bottom of the tanks. But when I looked at the autopsy that's in the Discovery doesn't, it says that there's no oil in the lungs. So I'm confused. Did you guys see another autopsy report that showed that they had oil in their lungs? Because the one I read, it didn't say that, so I'm a little confused on that. I don't know. What do you guys think? I just think that, well, I mean, a lot of you guys probably ordered the book. I've ordered it too, so I don't know when we'll get them. You know, I mean, probably different people will get them at different times. So I don't know if I would just want to read it word for word or just kind of summarize it and go through it with you guys. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? I was going to do it on my Patreon because I'm trying to, you know, promote my Patreon a little bit. I've had it for a while, but I haven't really used it, so I kind of want to, you know, use it a little more because there's a little bit more freedom, you know, that you could have and what you could do. So I would like to try to, you know, use that to read the book, but a lot of people are saying, oh, can you do it on your channel too? So maybe what I'll do is I'll put it first available on the Patreon, and then afterwards I'll put it on my channel or something. I don't know. I'll figure out something. So now I don't know. Do you guys still want me to keep going through the Discovery or just focus on the book now? Let me know. And also, I still want to, you know, go over new cases too. So hopefully me and Randy will find a better spot, because I know that the pizza shop was so loud with all the equipment, and for some reason when we were doing lives, the sound wasn't as bad as when we did, you know, record it. So I don't know why it made a difference when we just recorded it compared to when we were doing it live. Now I wish we would have done it outside that night, but I said no because I remember when we did it outside, you could hear the traffic. So we're like, let's do it inside, because it was kind of hard at times to hear when we were outside because it's kind of on a main road and you could hear the traffic. But actually it was easier to hear outside in those videos outside than inside. But so now that I know, I didn't know at the time, but now that I know, you know, we'll find, either we'll do it outside at the pizza shop or we'll do it at his house, or we'll just do it somewhere else. And usually, you know, we'll record a couple videos, so that's why there's like, well, the one on Amber and then the one on Chris. So there's 2 videos from that night, but yeah, maybe the outside one wasn't too bad to hear, right? So we'll do the outside one. And then, I mean, we'll do it outside is what I meant. If we do it at the pizza shop. If not, you know, we can do it at his house, or Randy's wanting to do it like in a park or something. I don't know, we could try, you know. I just can't wait till we could do lives. I didn't think I was going to miss it this much, but I am. Because it's like, especially now with all this new stuff coming out, like I want to be there live with you guys so we can interact and talk, and there's like so much going on, and it's just, oh my gosh, I feel like time is going slow. It really is. So I don't know, like there's other streaming options you could do live. I could do like Twitch or like Streamlabs. You could use Streamlabs with YouTube, but you could do, you know, I could do a live through a different platform. I don't know how to get everybody, you know. Well, I guess I could just, you know, tell you on my video where I'm going to do it. But I don't know, I'm just thinking about just waiting it out. You know, and just keep doing the recorded videos and just waiting out the 90 days. So, I don't know. We'll see how antsy I get. And, you know, see what Randy wants to do. But, okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to, you know, kind of do a little summary of that. There's probably going to be articles coming out like, oh, yeah, maybe every day. I don't know. Do you think they're going to put one out tomorrow too? I am not sure. I was surprised that another one came out. Most of it was just the same thing as the first article, but there are some new things added, like about Nikki and stuff, about how he's still in love with her, and he wonders, you know, about those postcards if it's her. I don't know. What do you guys think that she's watching these videos at all? Or, I mean, do you think she's still in love with him? I personally don't. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think, he's saying he's still in love with her. I don't feel like she is still in love with him for some reason. What do you guys think? And do you guys think she is really right into him? I don't know. I don't think she is, but like under an alias or whatever. But that's he probably just fantasizes like, any of the letters that are, how people are in love with him and write these love letters. He's probably like pretending or hoping that they are her, but I don't know. I mean, I just don't see how he could, be still in love with her and have remorse for what he did. So far, any of the letters that, we've read so far from him, or parts of letters, I don't see any remorse at all. I see a very selfish man. I really do. And I was hoping, maybe, he found God. I mean, not hoping, but, you don't want to wish anything, bad on people. I mean, don't get me the wrong way. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm saying actually. After reading this stuff, it's just, oh no, I just hate this man. But I know, you have to forgive, and you shouldn't hate people, because it's just, you shouldn't have hate in your heart, you really shouldn't. But it's hard, it's hard after hearing something like that. And like I said, I can't even imagine what the Ruseks are feeling right now. I can't even imagine. But they seem like very forgiving people, so, and good people, good heart. So I feel like, that they already forgave him, but now they're gonna have to kind of forgive him all over. Like after the second confession, it's almost like they probably get like this hatred all over and this anger, and they have to redo the process all over, and then who knows, and then after the book comes out, is there going to be anything else new that's going to have to do it again? And then who knows if if this narcissist man loves the attention, he's not going to quit. He's not going to quit, I have a feeling. So next year he's going to let somebody else interview him with new details. Like, I think he's purposely leaving out details, so he always has something, some kind of power, something that he could save for next time. So it's just, I don't like this man. I don't. And I thought, maybe there's a possibility at least he's trying to find God, and there's a little bit of good in his heart. But any of the doubt that I had is just gone. Gone. I don't feel like there is any good. I don't feel like there is any good in him at all. I really don't. And it's just, oh, gosh darn it, this man. So I just want to read you a couple texts. This is when Shanann was in North Carolina. And, well, when Shanann and Chris were both in North Carolina, and, supposedly Chris gave her that oxycodone in North Carolina. So some of the texts that she had with her friends, that could be some of the effects from the oxycodone, okay? So one of them was, she writes to one of her friends, she says, she is dizzy, lightheaded, and nauseous. She then says she's not pooped in weeks due to constipation. And opiates cause constipation big time. Like, that's one of the, one of the symptoms that opiates can do, constipate you. And, if she's not used to, oxycodone, maybe she's only taken it a few times after surgeries or whatever. And some people just have different symptoms. Some people could get dizzy, some people wouldn't get dizzy, but dizzy, that could be one of them. Lightheaded and nauseous, that could be, she could get that way from oxycodone if, it's definitely could be a symptom from that. And then the constipation is definitely one too. So I found that kind of interesting. And then another one where she says, I don't know why I feel really weak standing. I'm drinking a Gatorade and had a biscuit. That definitely could be a symptom too. And then another one, she said, I'm having a bad experience these last few days with my pregnancy, and I'm spotting. So, you know, that could be one. And then also she said, he hasn't asked me once about how I'm feeling or the baby. I was vomiting the other day so bad, and he just existed. So, you know, that could definitely be some of the symptoms she was having from the oxycodone. And, you know, if he was putting it, you know, in her shakes or whatever without her knowing, she would have no idea why she was feeling that way. You know, so that, I feel like it definitely could have been, you know, symptoms from him doing that. So I just wanted to read those to you. And then also my awesome mod maybe pointed out that he actually was looking up a pharmacy in Westminster for some reason. This is July 20th. It says that Watts search Google for a CVS pharmacy in Westminster, which I don't know why he would be going to a pharmacy in Westminster when he lives in Frederick. I mean, it's not like it's super far, but it's far enough that, I mean, that's, why would you go to a pharmacy in another city, you know? I just, Frederick to Westminster was like a half hour. Like a half hour, you know, average, depending on, you know, of course it could vary depending on where the pharmacy it was exactly, but it's about a half hour from Frederick to Westminster. So why would he be looking up pharmacies in Westminster? So I don't know. I don't know what that means, if it even is relevant in this murder at all. I don't know if it has anything to do with the oxycodone. I have no idea, but she just pointed it out and showed me that. So, okay, so that's that. All right, well, I guess I better end this here. I hope you guys all have an awesome night, and I guess I will talk to you next time. Bye.